Okay, so we all know K-pop, right? But what if I told you its real source code wasn't written in some fancy recording studio? What if it was written 1,300 years ago in a golden kingdom? That's what we're going to do. We're going to trace this whole global phenomenon back, way back, to its epic origins.
I mean, you've seen it. You've felt it. The oceans of light sticks. The choreography so perfect it's almost inhuman. And that look, that fearless, almost defiant energy in the performer's eyes. It's a global force of nature, for real.
But have you ever really stopped and wondered, where does all that come from? Seriously, how does that much explosive energy, that relentless drive for perfection, come from a relatively small nation and just completely conquer the entire planet? Well, the answer isn't in some high-tech Seoul studio. Nope. The original source code, the DNA for what we now call the KSpirit, it was written more than 1,000 years ago, in a kingdom shimmering with gold that most of the world has completely forgotten, a kingdom called Silla. Okay, so let's start where it all began. And our first stop? It's a battlefield. This is where a clash of giants literally forged the soul of an entire people. So picture this. It's the 7th century. The Korean peninsula is facing, well, annihilation. The Tang Empire, we're talking one of the biggest, most powerful empires the world has ever seen, decides it's time to get a little bigger. And they planned on just swallowing their smaller neighbors whole. And the matchup? I mean, look at this. It was just insane. On one side, you have the absolutely massive, seemingly endless Tang army, and on the other, the Silla cavalry. It was like a single spark against a dark, stormy ocean. The odds weren't just bad, they were completely and utterly impossible. So, by any logical measure, Silla should have just given up, right? Everyone on Earth expected them to kneel, to become just another footnote in the history books. But they had other plans. Against everything, against all odds, Silla didn't just fight, they endured. They earned a reputation, a title, really. They became known as the only nation the continent's ruler couldn't break. Think about that for a second. And this is the key takeaway, right here. That single act of impossible defiance, that choice to fight instead of fold, it wasn't just a win on the battlefield. It became the origin story. It literally hard-coded a spirit of unbreakable resilience right into the national DNA. So, okay, a warrior spirit is one thing, but how in the world does that connect to pop culture? Well, that spirit didn't just vanish when the wars ended. It morphed. It transformed into something totally new. It started forging culture itself. Okay, so get ready to meet the Hwarang. The name literally means flower youths, which sounds kind of gentle, right? Yeah, don't let that fool you. These guys were the absolute elite of Silla. Think of them as this incredible mashup, part deadly warrior, part brilliant artist, and part deep-thinking philosopher. Their whole training regimen, their path, was built on 3 pillars. First, you master the sword, become a warrior. Then you master the self, become a philosopher. And then you master the stage. You become an artist, a poet, a singer, a dancer, the whole package. And this is where it all starts to click. That intense discipline, that focus on artistry, on charisma, on style. Does that sound familiar? It's basically the blueprint for the modern K-pop idol. The insane training, the flawless stage presence. I'm telling you, these guys were the world's first idols. And you have to understand the world they came from. The capital city, Seoul, wasn't just some town. It was a city that literally shimmered with gold. It was a global hub. You had merchants from as far as Persia just walking the streets. This is where that Korean concept of class, that high-end, refined sense of style and quality really took root. Okay, so if this Silla spirit was so powerful, where is it now? Did it just disappear? Nope, it never died. It just evolved. It found new outlets. You're not going to find the real legacy of Silla gathering dust in a museum. Nah, you feel it. It's pulsing in the rhythm of a song. It's shining in the blinding lights of a concert stage. Let me give you a couple of quick examples of what I mean. Back then, in Silla, you had the Divine Bell. This thing was a masterpiece of art and engineering, a massive bronze bell whose sound, get this, could be heard for 40 miles. And now, today,
We have the K-pop bass drop. It's a sonic shockwave, perfectly engineered for maximum impact, and it doesn't just travel 40 miles. It travels around the entire globe, instantly. See? The tech is different, but the goal is the same. Create a sound so powerful, it resonates with everyone. Or how about this? Look at the calm, serene smile carved into the stone of the Seokguram Buddha. It's the physical representation of total inner peace, absolute control. Now, think about the meditative calm you see in an artist's eyes right before they walk out on stage to face a stadium of screaming fans. It's the exact same spirit, the same inner mastery, that same quiet focus, just pointed in a new direction. It all goes back to this core belief, something that's just baked into the cultural memory. This idea that we are the descendants of giants who defeated giants. And that's not arrogance, not at all. It's a kind of deep-seated confidence that comes from knowing your history. So where can you find this legacy today? Well, as the saying goes, all you have to do is look in the water. Look at the reflection.
Because here's the thing. A truly great history never really stays in the past. It becomes a living, breathing thing. It just stops conquering with armies and starts conquering the world with culture. So the next time you see one of those flawless performances, or you feel that bass drop hit you right in the chest, just remember where it all really comes from. You're not just witnessing a modern trend. You're feeling the echo of an ancient, unbreakable, golden kingdom. Welcome to Silla, the true origin of KSpirit.